Hey there, fellow gardeners. Welcome back to Ruth Haven Grounds. Today we're diving into something that's going to revolutionize the way you think about pest control in your garden. Forget those chemical sprays and expensive treatments. Mother Nature has already given us everything we need to keep our gardens thriving and pest-free. I'm talking about companion planting, and not just the theory behind it, but the plants that actually deliver results. After years of trial and error in my own garden beds, I've discovered that the right companion plants don't just reduce pests, they can virtually eliminate them. And the best part? These natural solutions work with nature's rhythms, building a healthier ecosystem that gets stronger every season. Let me share what's genuinely worked for me and countless other gardeners who've cracked the code on pest-free growing. Understanding why companion planting actually works is, well, pretty important. Before we get into the specific plants, let's talk about why this method is so effective. Companion planting isn't just folklore passed down through generations. There's real science backing it up. Certain plants emit specific compounds through their roots, leaves, and flowers that either repel harmful insects or attract beneficial predators that feast on garden pests. Think of your garden as a complete ecosystem rather than individual plants growing in isolation. When you introduce the right companions, you're creating a natural balance where pests simply can't establish themselves. Some plants mask the scent of your vegetables, making them invisible to pests. Others act as trap crops, luring insects away from your prized tomatoes. And some are so potent that pests won't even venture near them. The key is knowing which plants to pair together and understanding the specific pests you're dealing with. What works brilliantly for aphids might not faze cabbage worms, and that's where strategic planting comes into play. Let's start with the superstar of companion planting, marigolds. I plant these gorgeous flowers absolutely everywhere in my garden, and for good reason. French marigolds, in particular, release a substance called alpha-terthianol from their roots that decimates nematodes in the soil. These microscopic worms can devastate root systems, but marigolds shut them down before they become a problem. Above ground, the pungent scent of marigolds repels aphids, whiteflies, and even some species of beetles. I've planted them around my tomatoes, peppers, and cucumbers with remarkable success. The strong aroma essentially creates an invisible shield that pests want nothing to do with. Plus, they attract hoverflies and ladybugs, beneficial insects that devour aphids by the hundreds. Here's my pro tip: plant marigolds densely around the perimeter of your vegetable beds and intersperse them throughout. Don't just stick one or two in a corner and expect miracles. The more marigolds you have, the stronger the protective barrier becomes. Nasturtiums are absolute game changers, and honestly, they've saved my brassicas more times than I can count. These beautiful, edible flowers serve as a sacrificial trap crop for aphids, whiteflies, and cabbage worms. Pests just find nasturtiums irresistible and will choose them over your vegetables every single time. I plant nasturtiums strategically around my cabbage, broccoli, and kale. The aphids, well, they make a beeline for the nasturtiums, congregating on them instead of my crops. Once they're concentrated on the trap crop, you can either remove the affected nasturtiums entirely or spray them with a strong stream of water to knock off the pests. Either way, your vegetables remain untouched. Nasturtiums also have a vining habit, making them perfect ground covers that suppress weeds while protecting your soil. Their peppery leaves are delicious in salads too, so you're getting multiple benefits from one plant. They thrive in poor soil and actually produce more flowers with less fertilizer, making them incredibly low-maintenance companions. Basil isn't just for pesto, it's one of the most effective pest deterrents you can grow. The aromatic oils in basil leaves repel thrips, flies, mosquitoes, and hornworms. I always plant basil alongside my tomatoes, and I've noticed a dramatic reduction in tomato hornworm damage since I started this practice. You know, the relationship between basil and tomatoes goes way beyond just pest control. Basil actually enhances the flavor of tomatoes when they're grown nearby, and honestly, some gardeners even swear it improves tomato yield as well. I grow several varieties of basil throughout my garden: sweet basil, Thai basil, and lemon basil. And, well, they all contribute to pest management. The strong scent really confuses pests that are looking for host plants, basically masking the smell of your vegetables. So, for best results, just plant basil generously around peppers, tomatoes, and asparagus. Anything in the allium family, chives, garlic, onions, and leeks, should be your go-to for aphid control. These plants contain sulfur compounds that aphids absolutely detest. I've planted chives as borders around my rose bushes and vegetable beds, and it's like having an invisible force field. Chives are particularly valuable because they're perennial in most zones, coming back year after year without any effort on your part. They produce lovely purple flowers that attract pollinators while simultaneously repelling harmful insects. Japanese beetles, carrot flies, and even deer tend to avoid areas where alliums are planted. Garlic planted near roses prevents black spot and aphid infestations. I tuck garlic cloves around my garden in fall, and by spring I have both pest protection and a garlic harvest. The same goes for onions planted near carrots. They repel carrot rust flies while the carrots help deter onion flies. It's nature's perfect partnership. Chrysanthemums contain pyrethrin, a compound so effective at killing insects that it's used in many organic pesticides. But hey, why buy the processed version when you can just grow the real thing right in your own garden? Chrysanthemums repel roaches, ants, Japanese beetles, ticks, silverfish, lice, fleas, bed bugs, spider mites, and harlequin bugs. Pretty impressive, right? I plant chrysanthemums around my garden perimeter and near doorways to my home. They create a protective barrier that, honestly, significantly reduces the number of pests attempting to enter my garden space. The flowers are just stunning in fall when so many other plants are declining, giving you both beauty and function. One thing to note, keep chrysanthemums away from areas where cats roam, since the pyrethrin can actually be toxic to them. For the garden itself, though, they're incredibly valuable companions that really pull double duty as ornamental showstoppers. Lavender's intoxicating scent that we love is precisely what repels moths, fleas, flies, and mosquitoes. Isn't it amazing how something so pleasant to us can be so deterring to them? I've planted lavender along pathways and around seating areas in my garden, creating spaces where we can actually enjoy the outdoors without being eaten alive by mosquitoes. It's like having a natural, beautiful barrier that lets us relax and enjoy. For pest control purposes, lavender works exceptionally well near cabbage family plants, protecting them from cabbage moths. It's a natural partnership in the garden that keeps those pesky moths at bay. You know, the strong fragrance of lavender, it really interrupts the pest's ability to locate their host plants. Plus, lavender is quite the multitasker, as it also attracts beneficial pollinators like bees and butterflies. These helpful critters can really boost yields across your entire garden. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? The woody stems and Mediterranean origins of lavender mean it thrives in well-drained soil and full sun. Once established, it's drought-tolerant and, honestly, requires minimal care. Harvest the flowers for sachets and the plant bushes out even more, providing greater pest protection. Borage might be my favorite discovery in companion planting. This powerhouse plant repels tomato hornworms and cabbage worms while attracting predatory insects that consume aphids, mites, and other soft-bodied pests. The blue star,